So, the end of the year is coming. I do not know how many weeks. Maybe I'll figure it out and I'll put it up. But I am thinking about ooh, what do I want to read for the end of the week? So this is like my November, which November is basically over, you guys. So it really is like more my December reading plan, books that I want to try and get through by the end of the year that I want to share with you, and just some other things that I want to think about and do as it relates to my reading and like my books. So these are all kind of like my big desires. Yes, these are my desires for the end of the year. So first, I want to talk about just books that I'm really hoping that I can read in the month of December. Things are slowing down for me a little bit. My goal is to really kind of be organized in other areas of my life so that I have time to read. And I have not figured that out yet, but that is a goal. Maybe I will talk more about that later. And if you all have any ideas and suggestions, I would love to hear about that. So listen along the way and listen to how you can help a sister out. Thank you for that in advance. So first, I'm going to talk about books that I want to read in the month of between now and then, now and the end of the year. So this isn't in any particular order. This is just how I grab the books. But the first one is called Dear America, Notes of an Undocumented Citizen by Jose Antonio Vargas. And this book, I got this book when I was in Ohio at the Book Loft. Look at that price, you guys. I just love that price. If you are in Ohio ever, check out there in Columbus, Ohio, let me say. Go to the Book Loft. They have an amazing selection of books, 36 rooms full of books, and a lot of discounted books. So I was happy to find this one. And I just want to read this little blurb on the book about it. This says, this is not a book about politics of immigration. This book at its core is not about immigration at all. This book is about homelessness, and not in the traditional sense, but in an unsettled, unmoored psychological state that undocumented immigrants like myself find ourselves in. And I think it's just really important, especially during this time, to learn more about immigrants and the undocumented population that is within our country. I know that it will help me to be more connected to their story, and to also helpfully, what I'm hoping to know how to be a better advocate for them as well. So this is Dear America. Boom. Okay, next on my list, and that of course is nonfiction. Next on my list is The Parable of the Talents. So if you've been on my channel before, welcome back, y'all. Thank you for coming back. If you've been here before, you will know that I read Parable of the Sower. This Parable of the Talents is a much thicker book, so lots going on with here. This actually was my Parable of the Sower was my very first Books with Friends, which is when I read a book with a friend. I will link Parable of the Sower's book with friends in the show notes below if you want to check that out. There are lots of spoilers in there. It is a conversation about that book, just so you know. So my friend and I, Stephanie, are going to come back and talk about the second book in the series, Parable of the Talent. So I want to hopefully have that conversation sometime in January. So I want to read through this in December. She has told me, though, that she had to put it down a couple of times. So I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to get through it if I also am needing to just like step away, put it down, take a breath, come back to it. I don't know. But Parable of the Talents by Octavia E. Butler. Okay. Next is another book that I got at the Book Loft that was also, I like it when I get discounts on books, you guys. It doesn't even have to be much. Like this is 5% off, but that 5% brought me joy. Brought me joy. So this is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and it's a lot of talk about this book. I'm excited to give it a read. Oh, it was a Reese book club pick. I didn't even notice that. So I have had good success with Reese's book club books. Like one that I just read, which was another Reese book club book that I really liked, is Eleanor Oliphant. So that makes me feel good. That makes me feel like this one might be a good one as well. So this is authors June Hayward and Athena Liu were supposed to be twin rising stars, but Athena's a literary darling. June Hayward is literally nobody. Who wants stories about basic white girls, June thinks. So when June witnesses Athena's death in a freak accident, she acts on impulse and she steals Athena's just finished masterpiece, an experimental novel about the unsung contributions of Chinese laborers during World War I. So that's kind of what this book is about. And so I'm really yeah, I'm excited to give it a go. It is um oh, I just was like, I have another book on my bookshelf that I need to read. Babel. I have not read Babel, but I'm staring at it across the room, and I just right now, you guys made the connection that the same author wrote Babel. So where I don't know, I'm lost to the game, but I cannot wait to read Yellowface. So I will let's come back and share my thoughts on Yellowface. Okay, so moving on, The Book Thief. So The Book Thief, I think this is like a YA novel, but I'm actually reading this for those of you all who don't know. I also homeschool my girls, and we are studying World War II. And so I thought it would be really good. I always like to pair fictional works with historical studies when I can. And so I picked up Marcus Zussak's, yes, book, The Book Thief, to read. And this book I think is really interesting because I like the fact that it's narrated by death. And so yeah, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book and to discussing it with my girls. Who knows? I might be able to get them to come on and do a books with friends. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to reading this book. It's a lengthy one. Oh my gosh, it's about yeah, 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 yeah. 552 pages long. The cover, though, you guys, I am all about how covers feel in my hand. This one feels like you just don't want to stop. I don't know what material this is. It's very different from the last book. It's almost like velvety. And yeah, let me just set it down because I'll probably just be reading this book for quite a long time. All right, so next on my list is so this one is like historical fiction, okay? Next on my list is Stephen King, Rita Hayworth, and Shawshank Redemption. I had no idea that Stephen King wrote Shawshank Redemption. This is one of my favorite movies to watch, but I have to watch it with the commercial breaks for some reason. I can't just watch it all the way through. Um, yes, this is a short, very short little work, and I'm looking forward to finding a day on break where I can sit and just read this from start to finish. This book. And just experience this story that I know so well, but I want to experience it in this way. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And I also love, like, if you all see it this way, you see, if you know the story, the tunnel that he used a hammer to dig out a tunnel, and then this is him, boop, running through the tunnel. I love that. Also, a day read that I'm looking forward to reading. I do not have this book physically in my possession yet, but I will pop it up on the screen, and it's called Strange Houses by Uketsu. So I read Strange Houses. Is that the name of it? Strange Houses? Let me look. Yes, I read Strange Houses, and it was such a fun book. It's a Japanese mystery, more like a puzzle that you really get to be involved in. And I really liked it. It was a fun, quick read. And so I decided to get Strange Pictures, which actually was the first in the series. The books are not connected, so you don't have to read them in any order. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that one. And so that's another date, bed date, or maybe I'll take myself all and have just like the longest coffee date ever and read the book. Okay, last but not least is Maame, which is a novel by Jessica George. And I also got this at the book loft. Look at this, you guys, $27.99. I got it for $10. So excited about that. So this book is about protagonist Maddie's life in London, and she is a very responsible daughter. She is from her mother is in Ghana. That's where her parents are from and where she's from. Her mother spends like a year in Ghana, and she is in London with her dad. Her dad has Parkinson's disease. Her brother is not responsible, and so a lot of like the responsibility of not only taking care of her dad but also sending her mother money, so helping her mother out financially, falls on the back of this young girl or this young woman. And because of that, she really hasn't like started to live her life. And we meet her in a place where she is experiencing kind of the consequences of not doing that, and seeing her friends and people that she knows like advance and kind of really make strides in their life, and she's just kind of like stuck in this place. And so yeah, this is what this book is about. And I can't wait to start to read it. I like the cover. I know it's going to look good on my bookshelf too, popping up. So I will be excited to tell you guys what I think about this book as well. This is just, I think, like literary fiction. And yeah, I can't wait. Speaking of bookcases, I want to talk about, I think it's a good place to transition. Hopefully, my books do not fall off my table here, about some other things that I want to do during the month of December, or at least to think about. So, one thing I want to definitely do, a physical do, is to replace this shelf that has my books. This is a decorative shelf that was not meant to house this many books. It is not a bookcase. It is so mad at me for using it like that. But because I started getting so many books, I don't have enough book shelf space. My other bookshelves are at capacity. I just started putting them on the shelf. And if I was to move, you can kind of see the wood is like dipping down because it can't support the weight of the books. So I am going to be looking for bookcases to replace this piece of furniture. I'm kind of hoping maybe for two, or one like really wide one. And if you all have any bookcases in mind, or if you know, like, hey, this place has some great selections, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm looking for white bookcases. It does need to be white to kind of fit with the decor of my room. I also would like the width, I guess you would say, to be wide enough where I can prop out, like, stand up some of my books, because I do like to look at beautiful covers and have them kind of on display. So that's one goal for Christmas. I think that that's like the one big thing that's on my Christmas list this year. Bookcase. The other thing that I want to do over the course of December is to really kind of think about how I want to talk about books, almost like more of a unified process or system, because I find that I am random in how I talk about books, and I want to have a little bit more uniformity that I can offer to you guys. So I want to come up with like maybe 4 or 5, probably 5 at the most, different kind of topics that I can anchor my thoughts around as I am discussing books. So if you all have any thoughts about what those kind of anchors should be, I would love to hear from you. Definitely what I'm thinking about is world building, because world building is very important to me, and it's something that I'm always thinking about, and I know I'm always discussing. So that's an example of kind of like the things that I'm thinking about. As you guys know, I do not give star ratings on my channel. I don't rate them by terms of like how many stars that I would give them. So I really like to do more, have more conversation around analysis. And so that's kind of the thing that I'm hoping for. But I'm hoping to come up with like, here's what I'm talking about, so that it helps me as I'm organizing my thoughts, one, and I'm sharing them with you guys too. So that is on also my list to accomplish in December. And lastly, to kind of go with that, my book notes. So for those of you all that know, I do have a notebook where I keep my notes about books that I read. Right now, this part is also capturing a grocery list, because it serves like, where can I find the paper? That's where it's going to be. But I have notes about books that I read, and it's kind of just not, I want to organize it a little bit better as well. And I'm not like an artsy person when it comes to journals. I have a long relationship with journals to know, like, I'm not the one that's going to set up like the beautiful pages and pictures, and I'm not going to, I want to be the type of person that makes the bookcases and then goes in and fills in like the titles of the books. But I have come to accept myself, and that is not me. I'm not going to do that. But I do want to find a better way to organize my thoughts within my notebooks, so that it's easier for me to use, and yeah, and that it's just a more useful keepsake as well, because I like to do it because I can go back and read my notes, especially if I have a book and I've read it a second or a third time. That's something that is really helpful for me. So if you have any, first of all, if you have any journals, I have a specific journal that I like. This is not it, but I fell in love with another journal. This is a moleskin. Is this a moleskin? Yeah, this is a moleskin. And I do actually not prefer moleskin journals. I'm looking around. I don't have my other Lectern. I don't even know if I said it correctly, but the Lectern journal dotted, those are my favorite hardback, and I really like that. So like, this one is lined. I'm not really a lined girl. I just think the lines are limiting for me, and I don't want to be limited in that way. But if you have other journals that you like, I'm open for even exploring a new journal type for this project for 2026. And if you have like systems or ways that you set up a reading journal, I'm also would be highly interested in that, as I'm trying to like just kind of think of different things that I can do with it. I love keeping a reading journal. I am faithful to keeping a reading journal, so I will do it. I just am trying to like look for new and improved ways that I can capture, my thoughts in a different way. So that is like it. That's my kind of 2020 ending of the 2025 ending the year. Let me say of 2025 by books that I want to read. I think that that is a bit ambitious, all of my books, but I'd rather want to have the ambition towards it than not. I think a total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the other one that's not here is 7. Oh my gosh, did I land on 6, 7? I have kids, and it's just 6, 7 all the time. If you know, you know. Okay. So 6, 7 books, a new bookcase, and reading journal. Those are my goals for the end of the year to kind of get those things together. Oh, and the other thing is my morning routine. I really like waking up in the morning and reading, like early. Um, and I find that I need to have that so that I can actually read. But I also need to wake up in the morning, you guys, and work out. So if there's anyone out there that is able to do both or has some ideas and suggestions for me to do or try, I would so appreciate it. Please leave your wisdom in the comments section below. But truly, I want to try and get in time for both before my day really gets started, because reading is medicinal and self-care to me, and also working out. I don't yet experience that, guys, but I know that I need to. So that's like, something I'm trying to press towards. Yeah, so let me know what your goals are too. I would love to know what books you want to get through before the end of the year, and any other bookish goals that you have for yourself as we are entering into 2026. I want to be able to encourage and support you. So please share your stuff in the comment section below. I read all comments, each and every one. It's very meaningful to me. And I just love being able to engage with you guys in this community. I want to try to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That's my goal, and I think that we can do it. So if you have not done so already, please like and subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss any content around books. Yeah, you're just a beloved member of this community. And until next time, you guys, you know what to do. And if you don't, I'm going to remind you right now, I need you to treat yourself to something good. Treat yourself. I want you to go and hang out in a bookstore and just be around your people and around books and soak up all that good energy. And as always, I want you to stay reading. Bye.